Hi, welcome to the Libertarian Alternative. My name is Mark Selzer, and today we have two guests who are outright libertarians. That's a term we have in the Libertarian Party for a libertarian that is openly gay. Libertarians are often described as being socially tolerant and economically responsible. We have people in the party that are very conservative in their social lives, people that are very liberal in their social lives, and everything in between. So thank you very much, both of you, for coming out today. Now, Justin, you're the vice chair of the
Region 64.
The Central Los Angeles Libertarian Party.
That's right.
And you are on the XCOM.
Correct.
Which is the steering committee, 15-member steering committee of the California Libertarian Party. Now, you've been a libertarian now for an awful long time, haven't you?
Yes, I don't want to give any secrets away, but it has been a while. Yes, yes.
So you were telling me before the show about how you came to the Libertarian Party, or became to realize that you were a libertarian.
Yes, I actually, ironically enough, I was on campus at I guess I can say the school, Arizona State University, with my girlfriend at the time, and someone came up and was talking about the Libertarian Party, and I'd heard something, and she'd heard something, and the name Ayn Rand was mentioned, and so I got some literature, and I got involved in that year's presidential campaign for Roger McBride, and
wow.
Have been working on one level or another in the party since then. So.
Roger McBride is our only presidential candidate who's no longer with us.
Yes. I've
tried to have them all on the show. I've had many. I still have a couple more to go. But Ron Paul, who I'll doubt I'll ever get because he's in Congress now. And then Roger McBride, of course, who's passed away. And then John Hosbury, who I understand is an openly gay person, was from the... Now that I just found that out in preparation for this show, because I've had him on the show, and of course I just figured he had a wife somewhere at home, but who was female. But of course, it just goes to show you that being gay is just you're just a person like anyone else that happens to be gay. I didn't even know that about him for the longest time. But I hope that he was a philosophy professor at USC. And he was our first presidential candidate in 1972.
Yes.
That would be correct, wouldn't it?
That is correct.
That's right.
Yep.
So, Justin, how did you arrive at the Libertarian Party? How did that happen to you?
Well, it was kind of, I guess it was fated. When I was 15, in my high school English class, I had a little poster for the Ayn Rand Institute, which is not really totally libertarian,
no,
but
related philosophically.
Related, and they had a $5,000 scholarship for an essay contest for the Fountainhead, and I read the entire book and wrote my essay, and when I went to the post office to drop it off, I think they had to have coordinated this. The Libertarian Party was out protesting. And they had left pamphlets in the post office, and so I picked up the pamphlet, and that, ironically enough, that's what I had been thinking, politically. That's where I was. So, and I called Colleen Lang, who was in Sacramento. Her name was on the pamphlet, and I talked to her for, I think, like 2.5 hours, and I talked to her about every conceivable issue that was important to me at the time, and I've been a libertarian ever since.
Wow. So both of you picked up literature. You read something.
Yes.
And you agreed with it, which is what happened with me. I saw Ron Paul on television. And and I agreed. I said, hey, this is completely right. I don't believe there's a political party out there that agrees with me. Before I was basically voting Democrat because they were more liberal on social issues. And I was as well. Free speech issues. I got very upset when people were attacking, I heard conservatives attacking gay people or people that were living outside of what the lifestyle that they condoned, whether it was straight or not. And I've always seen homophobia as being just a symptom of people not feeling comfortable with their own sexuality. And then, of course, they're not going to feel comfortable with somebody else's as well.
It's probably true with a lot of people.
I think that's... So I think that always bothered me a lot. So the people, the prejudice and homophobia and racism and things like that. So of course I wasn't going to go into the Republican Party, because not that I'm accusing them of anything, but the perception is that they are not as tolerant. The Democrats, of course, base their reputation on tolerance. And when I found out that the Libertarian Party also had that, and they also, but there was no prejudice in the party towards people who had a conservative lifestyle either, who welcome everyone. So I said, oh, that's the party for me, because you don't really, I didn't like to see prejudice one way or the other. So you worked on, you voted, that was your first presidential campaign, you voted for McBride?
That was my second.
Your second?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I voted Republican the first time. I came from I was a very conservative young person, and it was really that aspect of the Libertarian Party that first appealed to me, the no taxation, but it's an extension of the same idea of property rights, that what you earn is yours to keep, and it's an extension of that to say that this body that you have is yours to do with as you would, whether it's smoke pot or take vitamins or eat health food or eat junk food, and it's not you two people can't decide what's right for me simply because you're two and I'm one. Your judgment, your wisdom isn't any more appropriate for me than mine. Mine is more appropriate for me, and that is the aspect that really began to evolve as I became active and interested in the Libertarian Party. I went from ultra-conservative to being ultra-liberal on social issues and ultra-conservative on others. Every time I've taken the Libertarian, little quiz, I'm right at the top, because it isn't an issue for government to decide. It isn't an issue for your neighbors to decide. It's an issue for you to decide, as long as two things. One thing that I always stress when I talk to people, even within the party, is it's a two-sided coin, and the one side is personal liberty, the other side is personal responsibility. And we need to be responsible for who we are and what we do, both in terms of how it affects us, but also how it affects others. I don't have the right to take your rights away. I don't have a right to expect anything of you, to take care of me or to decide for me. That's my personal responsibility, and my actions need to be both ones coming from liberty but also from personal responsibility. So that's something that's very important to me, and I'm not sure that's something that translates well in the gay community, frankly.
Why?
Well, I think there's one huge thing, and that's the AIDS epidemic. I think it has completely changed gay politics, if you will. I think that's a roadblock for the Libertarians making more inroads into the gay and lesbian community, is that AIDS is a very big thing. It's just like, I hope this doesn't make this a temporal thing, but we're having huge, ravishing fires right now. Right. And how does one deal with that sort of a cataclysmic event without government? How does one deal with the AIDS epidemic without government? And so people don't understand that free enterprise, free market